Good morning. We'll call the meeting of the February 4th, 2026 Board of Elections to order. First order of business is approve the December 3rd, 2025 Election Board meeting. Is there a motion, please?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Permanent mailers update. Sarah?
So the permanent mailers went out in January, and it was almost 31,000. We're getting them back in droves some days. So far, we've processed between online, paper, we processed about 3,766. But we have, I mean, there was something with the mail. We didn't get our mail for 2 days, so. But we do have a lot to still process, so we're working on that.
So of the 31,000 sent out, you've processed 3,766?
Correct.
Thank you. Is there anything else? It's a wonderful update. Election conduct proposal. Mr. Parker, I think you have something you want to say?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll just make a brief statement first. Everyone is capable of violating the law, and most of us have done so at one point in our lives. I am proposing guidelines for current and future commissioners to help prevent situations where boundaries become blurred and complacency can lead to wrongdoing. The responsibilities of a commissioner during the first 3 years of a term can differ significantly from those in the fourth year, particularly when re-election is a possibility. Just as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance at every meeting, reaffirm our loyalty to the United States of America, every commissioner's meeting, I should point out, I believe it is worthwhile to review these guidelines. Every year, doing so will remind both commissioners and county employees of our respective roles and responsibilities. This is especially important during an election year when actions that may be permissible while serving on the election board are not appropriate for a commissioner who is actively campaigning for election or re-election. We work for the voters and taxpayers of Monroe County, and most county employees are part of that same group. If I step outside those boundaries in an election year, I welcome a simple reminder such as, "Commissioner, you shouldn't go back there," or "Commissioner, we need to discuss an election matter, so you'll need to leave the room." In a time when the public is demanding greater accountability and decorum from elected officials, these guidelines can help us be better public servants, acting appropriately within our roles while avoiding unnecessary pressure or discomfort for county employees. So I had proposed 5 election conduct rules. I know we had it reviewed by the solicitor, and she recommended some changes, which I've made, a couple of edits. Now, she felt that some of the rules were unnecessary based on another rule. I'd like to, I guess, go back to the comment from the chairman in the last meeting about belts and suspenders. I don't think it hurts to have a reminder and be a little more specific about some of the things. There's 3 that are in this policy, which came through the agenda based on the solicitor's recommendations, and they are: 1, information sharing restrictions. No election information shall be shared by election office staff or any other county staff with a commissioner who is running as a candidate in an election, unless such information is provided equally to all candidates running for the same position. 2, reporting election irregularities. Any election irregularities shall be reported to all members of the election board as soon as practical upon discovery. And 3, irregularities involving commissioner candidates. When an election irregularity involves a commissioner who is a candidate for elected office, an alternate solicitor shall be appointed to investigate the irregularity and to report their findings to the full election board. The regular solicitor shall continue to advise the board on other matters. One that was taken out that I thought it still is worth having in would be restricted access for commissioner candidates. I had Commissioners who are candidates for elected office shall not enter staff-only areas of the election office or voter registration office, including behind the counter, at any time during the election year unless invited back by election staff under the same conditions as any other candidate. I know it was felt that might be redundant, but I know there was a time in our history when a commissioner went into the commissioner's office after hours. No one here. It was a while ago. It was a simple reason just to get some absentee ballots, but that commissioner should not have done that. It just is not a good practice because you are up for election and who knows what you're doing in there. So it's better not to do that. So I think it's worthwhile to keep that in at a minimum. I would keep all 5, but happy to consider what the other commissioners want.
Well, I've put forth these 3, and I feel that it's covers everything.
I agree, especially when we got the word from our person that represents us and counsels us on the law. And I feel that we should be following her recommendations as well.
Okay, I mean, well, just to be clear, we are the commissioners. We make the decisions. We get advice from counsel. She certainly did not say that these guidelines were against the law by any means. Okay.
No, I understand. And just so everybody knows, this is purely it's not a law. It's an
attempt to be better.
right.
We want
And
to be better
and
public
think-
servants.
I personally think that, with elections have changed since I've been here and everybody's watching, everybody's looking. And I think that, people, commission, I know you go down and when you're not running, you'll enter a locked office. And so we don't do that. I don't think we should ever do that because we're always being watched. There are cameras everywhere here and everybody knows everybody else's business here. So I think that we are well aware of the situation and having lived through it, I think that this takes care of it. And that's why I submitted this to be presented.
I could,
And I second that.
I mean, Deb isn't here to speak for herself. She's the one that made these comments, but I can try to explain her rationale on some of the edits.
Good luck.
Yeah, see my best. I think the ones where she has indicated they may be already covered by point number 1, which is the no sharing of election information with the commissioner who's running for office. The other 2, number 4 and 5, restricting access to the commissioners behind the counter and the 4th one, staff reporting structure, that it has to be clearly communicated to the election office staff that they're not to communicate with the Board of Commissioners. I think what's behind Deb's comments is that as commissioners, you wear a couple of different hats and you have different roles. And as the Board of Commissioners, you're wearing one set of hats dealing with election matters. But as commissioners, you also wear a hat as the chief HR officials in the county. And if there's an HR matter that involves the election office, you may very well have every reason to be down in the election office speaking with election staff about that. And a blanket prohibition like number 5, saying that you're not, you're communicating to the staff in the election office that they report to the election board and not to the Board of Commissioners. That's only true with regard to election matters, and it doesn't say that.
Well, I did edit to accommodate her recommendations. So,
And it doesn't say that in number 4, where, you're not allowed behind the counter. Okay, for election related matters, but what about if you need to get there to talk to Sarah about an HR matter or another matter?
well, I would have her come up to our office.
Well, what about if, yeah, that's my feeling. What if voter reg needs to talk to one of us about a different matter?
And I don't know that, I think, Dave, you said, come up to our office. Does that, is the location of it the important thing, or is it the communication with the official, between the commissioner and the official that matters?
I would say the location's important. There's a lot of, in the election office, there's a lot of information. a candidate should not necessarily be privy to.
Well, those are,
But it's okay. This is the building block. If we approve these three, we've done something and we might prevent something improper from happening just by these simple reminders. So,
well, I don't think that's.
Keep it one, two, and
All right, who would make a motion that we adopt this?
Could I just ask?
Sure.
So I always think of that office as voter registration. That's what it says. So you're calling it election office staff. Is election office staff the proper way to refer to the voter registration?
well,
Well, it's both.
I had both.
It's both.
I had both in there and, you know, the solicitor kind of said, pick one. So
Well, it's both.
I'd rather have both.
It's the problem, I think, with saying that there's two different sets of staff is that there isn't two different sets of staff. There's one staff that works in that office and they handle two different kinds of things.
But we
In
can-
other counties, they have two separate offices.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
And I would say on election day, we have election staff that work at the polls that they're not necessarily involved in.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm happy to have both in there for
I just-
clarity. And we can do that, but
And then it's clear that it's commissioner running for any other office, not
Yeah.
necessarily
oh yeah,
be running for supervisor. They still can't.
anytime you're running is
Anyway,
right.
all right.
The thing is, if you're running for office, you are not on the election board.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you would be removed, if I ran for state rep, I would be stepping away while that
Okay.
goes on. Okay, so we're going to conduct for commissioners and election and voter registration staff during elections. And we have points 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to read it just so that we have it. Information sharing restrictions. No election information shall be shared by election office staff or any other county staff with a commissioner who is running as a candidate in an election unless such information is provided equally to all candidates running for the same position. 2, reporting of election irregularities. Any election irregularity shall be reported to all members of the election board as soon as practical upon discovery. And 3, irregularities involving commissioner candidates. When an election irregularity involves a commissioner who is a candidate for elected office, an alternate solicitor shall be appointed to investigate the irregularity and to report their findings to the full election board. The regular solicitor shall continue to advise the board on all other matters.
Could I just,
Please. What would you-
Sarah asked me a question while there was the other discussion going, and I just want to make sure that I'm clear in what I'm saying to her is what your intentions are as well. The way I read this, it's a policy aimed at the conduct of commissioners.
Correct.
And what Sarah's question was, is what happens if a candidate, and this does happen to her often, comes to her who's not a commissioner and wants to ask questions, and she takes them back into her office.
I think Sarah has the right to do whatever she wants to do in her office. She's allowed to bring a commissioner back if she deems it appropriate. Okay?
Yeah, and that's the advice that I gave her,
Right.
because I think that this is a policy that governs what commissioners do, not what Sarah does.
Not what Sarah does. That's correct.
Well, there's, sometimes I
Bill-
take both parties back. If somebody's challenging somebody's petition, I'll take them back and look up what, I've had both parties in there, or, somebody needs help. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is to treat them as candidates, not as,
I do.
yeah, yeah. No, I know, that's all it was, to clarify that.
Who picks the alternate?
The commissioners do. In other words, if I'm running again, then I would select my alternate.
What do you mean the alternate for the election board, not
Right,
the
yeah.
solicitor? Okay, yeah,
No, the alternate to replace you on the election.
yeah. I mean, they're approved by the judge, so I guess the judge could say, no, but
Anything else?
Alternate solicitor, that just means not Deb.
correct.
or anyone in that office.
No, we, when this happened before, we had an alternate solicitor. It's standard practice.
But it involves the whole office.
Yeah.
Not just Deb.
Yeah, and any conflict that Deb would have, I would have to.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Under item 1, information sharing restrictions,
Mm-hmm.
I think the last sentence, unless information is provided equally to all candidates running for the same position. So is that information automatically sent out to all the candidates? In other words, let's just say I ask for information as a candidate. Would it automatically go? Because they wouldn't, other candidates wouldn't know to even ask. What is Hector asking for? Did that make sense, or that kind of?
I don't think.
Well, you're
that's-
not a commissioner. It's,
I don't think that's covered by the policy, your question.
Okay,
Your question relates to a non-commissioner requesting information.
okay, then,
This is only directed to a commissioner.
okay, so now if a commissioner asks, will the information be shared automatically
Well, it would have to be under this policy or
That's
else,
what- yeah,
it wouldn't be an answer.
Now, let's see what the next step was.
Yeah.
The commissioner asked for information.
How do you
yeah.
do it?
The goal, I mean, if it has to be rewritten, so be it, but the goal is, we are in these offices, we're in areas we might be privy to hearing something about the election that our opponents are not. And if we say, oh, Dave, you shouldn't have heard that, and you can act on it, my opponent should also have an opportunity to act on it. So that's we would inform, it would be said, look, Dave, you found out about that, you shouldn't have, your opponents will become aware of it as well. It's like
Just one
kind of
clarification.
insider information that, could be an unfair situation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how that would happen, but we'll just leave it in there. So that's fine. So we've read it. We have
Make a
to,
motion to approve as the chairman read with the edits.
is there a second?
Well, John, it's just 1, 2, and 3, correct?
Correct.
Any edits that,
As I read,
it. Yeah.
the way you read them, right?
correct.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm nays. Motion carries. I said election and voter registration
Yeah,
staff.
that's the,
That's the only thing. Okay. Approve voter registration drive policy.
So I don't know if we want to give a little background on this.
Please give us a little background, Sarah.
So a lot of counties are going with a policy because of what happened to us last year with all the fake voter registrations that we were receiving. This would help with if somebody's out getting voter registrations and they bring us a stack in like this. We're requiring them to have like a sticker or some kind of mark on the form so we can trace it back to an individual if there's issues. What drive was doing this, who was doing this. It would make it a lot easier in our office, especially like some of those from last year that we found. They were filled out in June and we got them 2 days before registration deadline for the November election. So that's bad because if you're trying to register somebody and there's an issue, it's the last minute and, it sometimes too late to contact them or, but those are the two big things with our office, and a lot of counties are adopting a policy for voter registration drive. Make it easier on us to reach out to somebody who is doing the drive at the time or that can help us, get information possibly, or if there's fraudulent, we could trace it back.
So would that be a QR code on the actual registration? Would you put that on?
Well, a lot of counties, what they're doing is they're just saying, on the bottom, print out a bunch of stickers and put them on the
Oh,
bottom, like if the League of Women Voters did it,
Right.
just so we would know,
Okay.
and yeah.
Sarah, if it didn't have that, would it be not accepted?
Well, we're gonna tell them they have to put it on there when they bring them in.
Okay.
And if they come in the mail, we will keep the envelopes
Yes.
like I did. That's
You give them
what-
together.
yes.
Right, very good. Just asking,
I have a question.
please.
Okay, so if you're going around knocking on doors and somebody wants, they just moved there, they want to register, what do we have to put on there, or that's just a single one and not to worry about it?
Well, the problem is these drives where they're coming in and stacks.
all right.
That's our issue.
Okay.
I mean, if you're doing it for a political party or something, you could have put on there like MCDC, Monroe County Democratic Committee, you know, you could put something on that we would, if there was an issue and we couldn't get a hold of that person, we could, you know, contact you.
Okay.
So at a festival, you know, we do, at our tables offer Republican, Democrat registration. Would we put a small note on there that it came from Pride Fest Festival or
But then we
No.
wouldn't know how to
just
read it out.
MCDC?
That would be
Okay,
fine, or
okay,
League of
gotcha.
Women Motor, LWV, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
just so we knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is to identify the group that's collecting them,
Yeah.
not the location. where-
Okay.
where-
Right. We would know who to go back on. Like if I have a problem, you know, like I did with the field corps. Luckily, I had the envelope, you know, and then I can refer to the district attorney like I did,
Right.
you know, but
But to the point that was made for individuals, so if I'm out knocking on doors campaigning and somebody in the house wants to register, they fill it out. I say, I'll take it down for you. I bring it in Monday. And you would ask me, you know, Dave, I'm going to write your name on here so I know to contact you or have me write my name if there's an issue as opposed to them. Okay.
Yeah, because it does happen when you're out canvassing people, their voter registration.
well, it's, I mean, just what happened last year, it's very scary.
Yeah, well, I would bring it right
It
away.
wasn't only
Yeah.
fake, like,
I
I
mean-
mean, they had people's real information.
Yeah,
They actually changed people's parties. Bad, bad, bad.
Well, just sitting on them for 3 months, it's like, it's
Yeah.
just irresponsible. If somebody wants to register, you get it in as quickly as possible.
I mean,
So
this one poor gentleman came in after the primary this year. His party was changed. He didn't do it. But they had everything right on his application.
wow. What?
So to accept this, do I read it again or do I just motion that we accept the voter registration drive policy?
I mean, you can read it. I don't think there were any change, like, I think you read the last one because there were changes.
Correct.
When it was presented, but it's up to you. I don't.
Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to say about it?
I can't find it now. I thought it said you can't alter or change, or alter or withholding. Okay, so,
That means if somebody filled the registration form now and they walked away and you saw something wrong with it and you altered it.
well, no, not that you alter. Let's say they left something out, but there's a phone number. So you call the person and say, would you authorize me to write your social security number in on your registration because it's missing? Is that allowed?
They're signing it. Like,
Yeah.
They're
I
what?
mean, they're signing it.
They're
You're not signing it.
right.
And then you're altering.
So then
I
I
think
have,
that's going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so the alternative is to mail it to them.
And we will contact them. You can still turn
Oh,
it in.
just
to us.
turn it
We
in.
can
And
take
we
care
will
of it.
contact them if
Oh,
there's
okay.
something missing.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
We've always done
We're a
that.
full service organization.
That works better.
I'll make a motion to approve it as
Presented, is
presented, yeah.
Presented by the voter registration.
there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This is a very exhaustive agenda you have for today. Is there any discussion? None?
Any question?
Oh, I do have a question.
I was gonna, hello?
Well, I just thought of it.
Is this on?
Sometimes we'll get someone who lives in a different county.
Yeah.
Can we turn that into you, or do we have to mail it ourselves to the other county?
You want to use up her mailing budget?
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
Well,
So,
let me say this, Ann. If you give it to Sarah and it has to go through processing, it's better just to drop it in the mail.
okay, This is
Okay,
guidance.
because that's what Sarah's going to do. Okay,
Well, okay.
we don't. Occasionally, there might be something that, is sent to the wrong place and we'll run out on election day and bring them back or whatever, on case by case basis. But no,
I just want to say something real quick. I forgot to.
oh no.
February 12th. You will have petition packets, available for pickup. Obviously, you cannot begin getting signatures until the 17th, but you can pick up, for local committee people, Republican, Democrat. You can pick them up beginning at 12.
Everything else has to come from,
Everything else is through the state.
okay, good, okay.
Makes me very happy.
So state committee.
State committees, everything's through the state.
Everything. Okay.
The only thing in our office is your local Democratic committee people and Republican committee people. That's it.
Is there anything else? Any public comment? Is there a motion to adjourn? We are then. Oh, no, sorry.
Too late.
Almost.
When you said public comment, I was backtracked. Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
I just want to express a concern that I have. We know what's happening in Minneapolis with people afraid to go out of their houses because of the
Mhm.
federal quote law enforcers, being around and intimidating people. Now, what if in November we have law enforcement from the federal government patrolling the streets, standing in front of the libraries armed and masked, going to polling places? People
not
are
allowed
not
to
going to
go to
come out to
places.
vote. And is anybody at least thinking about the possibility of what to do if that happens?
I contacted the,
Either way.
Emergency Management Center and asked what the recommendation would be. And they said to, who's the guy? What's the guy upstairs?
Gary Hoffman.
Gary Hoffman said he has been in contact with all the police departments within the county and that we have to call 911 immediately and they will refer, and you have to say what it is to your receptionist, the phone answer person, say what it is and they will dispatch a police department immediately.
The thing is, Ann, is that it's a state run or, election so far, and it's going to be a state run. Okay? And we'll see what happens. I don't know. I will be laying across a road somewhere, stopping people from hurting other people. Okay? Yes.
So I know there's a shortage of constables. Have we been able to increase that number that perhaps to be better prepared in case
Well-
something happens of?
We can't do anything like that.
Oh.
Okay?
They either have to be elected, which we did get more with
Oh,
last year's
okay.
election.
Okay,
So we're, better covered than we were, but,
yeah.
if somebody's interested in an open position, they have to go to the court.
Okay.
Yes, sir?
Can't they be appointed by the head constable?
No.
Pretty
No.
sure.
They have to be, if they do, that's from the court.
Well, they have
And-
to go through the court, but he,
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now that the court is much, it probably won't act on it. Okay? Historically. Is there anything else? And we had a motion to adjourn, Penny, so we are officially adjourned now. Thank you.